What's going on, guys? We are out here on the farm. Big shout out to Carroll's Firearms for letting us be out here again. Big shout out to Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo as well, guys. We are rocking a Christensen Arms 300 Blackout setup here. We were also pairing that with the Echo 3 from SIG. First 10 shots are Hornady Black. Let's see how well they work and how well the microphones pick up the gun. Alright. Save the first kids. Gotcha now. Let's go the distance here, 150. I'm sorry, that was 125. This is 150. I know where I'm hitting now, baby. That was perfect too. The wind settled. Let's see if I can do that one more time. Oh, that was freaking awesome. One more. I do it 3 times in a row. Oh, Pete, if you do this 3 times in a row, you're a G-dog. Just tell yourself that. Yes! Yeah, baby! Found it. Oh, that feels so good. 300 Blackout, 285 yards, Cellar and Bellet, Christensen Arms, Aero Precision Lahar, SIG Echo Thermal in the middle of the day, picking up steel that is, in my eyes, probably pretty cold out here. You know how cold steel gets, so being able to pick those targets up at that distance is a huge testimony to this thermal. But gosh darn, if both of those weren't quiet, I really couldn't tell much of a difference in either one here behind the gun. Super excited to break this video down, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little one. Christensen Arms, big yes from me, guys. Go check them out. Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo is a dealer and will get you hooked up. Once again, big shout out to them. I love you all. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, guys, and as always, stay alert, stay alive, and we'll see you next time. What's going on, everybody? Today we are talking about the Christensen Arms 300 Blackout pistol here. This thing is definitely a looker in my opinion, and it's been really fun to play with this thing. But before we jump into this review, guys, let me take a quick second and thank the homies Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. They provided us with the gun and the ammo for this review just so that you know what our relationship is. Smoky Mountain believes in providing you guys with unbiased reviews. That way you guys have the best opportunity to spend your money wisely. So we are all about that, and we are all about you supporting them. Go check them out here at their stores in Knoxville or Sevierville, as well as smga.com and Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo on all social media platforms. But let's waste no more time, guys. Let's dive into this thing right here. I gotta admit, guys, this is my first experience with Christensen Arms, and it really made me kind of pay attention to their brand. Number one, the fitment to detail and the amount of smoothness that this rifle does have is pretty dang phenomenal. I would absolutely give them a look just based off their machine work alone. But diving into the actual rifle itself here, guys, or pistol for that matter, it is a 300 Blackout pistol with a 7.5-inch barrel. This thing is going to weigh roughly right at about 7 pounds, and it does come already threaded with the 5/8 by 24 thread so that you could put your muzzle brake or suppressor of choice directly on this thing. It's got a carbon fiber front handguard here that makes this thing super light, and it is set up with the M-LOK style on the left, the right, and the bottom so that you can mount whatever you want to this thing. This did come already standard with this kind of pick rail front hand stop here installed, so we just kind of left that one on for the review. But we added some different items from QD sling mounts to lights, lasers, and all that good stuff on this thing in the amount of time that we did have it. You got a nice pick rail here up front, gives you plenty of space to mount a full-size scope, thermal scope, or even a combination of things like we've done here as well. Looking at the rifle here, talking about how smooth it is, I'm not putting hardly any pressure at all, barely pulling it and it's moving back, barely pushing forward, and locks right back into place. You got your thumb safety here, or you can kind of use your index, however you want to do it. If you're doing professional kind of marksman type of shooting where you have your whole thumb on the right side, it's kind of in the perfect place right there. Also a Magpul K2 grip. This is kind of their slimline grip, but it is set up with the same exact screw that an AR-15 grip is, so that you can easily take this off and swap it out for whatever you wanted. And the trigger on this thing is phenomenal, guys. We have a Trigger Tech flat trigger here, and this thing is ranging in between 2 and 3 pounds when we do our little Wheeler trigger pull test here. 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pounds, guys. That's where it consistently is. If I put the Wheeler trigger measure here and put it about right where my finger would be placed, that's where we're getting the best reading. So I'm going to try it one more time. Just under 3 pounds, about 2 3/4 pounds. So super light trigger here, guys. Very, very clean. Definitely what you would want in kind of this precision type of setup here. It has been a great time shooting this, and I think they did a good job designing this thing from the front to the back and providing pretty much everything you would want in this kind of compact marksman type of setup here. Talk about the things that we paired it with. We mixed around between some different 1913 style setups here. But ultimately ended up with the SBA3 on the, I believe this tube is from my Ruger PCC. So I was able to take this tube off with the brace, put it on here. Really the only thing I need now is a folding setup. That way I can make this thing even more compact when traveling around or trying to take it somewhere. I also had this thing paired with a SIG Sauer Echo 3 thermal. This was a great option, and this is the optic that we've had on this for the entire review. Once we got this thing zeroed, it was the perfect combination between that 300 Blackout and kind of running this thing at night as well. So highly recommend the SIG Echo 3 thermal. That's a different review, but for now, that was what we had paired with this type of setup here. I also recently threw on the laser in this type of setup. I moved the Echo back just a few spaces on the pick rail, but I've had the laser kind of bounce around from the sides of the rail here to the top. And then we also had this thing mixed with a couple of different suppressors. We tried the Aero Precision Lahar L. That was kind of our favorite setup with the most sound reduction. But if you want an even more compact setup, we could go with the Sandman S or the even Lahar K here for the utmost compact type of setup. So if we had this thing already on and a folding stock adapter, you got to think this thing is less than almost 2 feet long, folded, and still shoots folded as well. So really dang cool. This thing did come with one 10-round magazine, and this is a MDT tactical magazine. So if you guys are wanting extra ones, this does say 223 on it, but this was the one that came with the 300 Blackout gun, as far as I know. This is the way we picked it up from Smoky Mountains, so unless that's an error and they sell 300 Blackout magazines, it is a 223 mag that it came with. And I believe that it doesn't really matter, you know, because that is kind of how it was in the beginning. Some people want it to be caliber specific, but I will tell you that this did not give us any issues when chambering the round using this mag. And we have, at this point, well over 250 rounds through this setup. Smoky Mountain was kind enough to give us a lot of 300 Blackout ammo, which you guys know how expensive that stuff is. So huge shout out to them for giving that to us so that we could shoot this thing, because that would absolutely be breaking my wallet if I was trying to do that on my own dime. So Again, big shout out to them for that. But continuing with the gun itself, guys, you got a QD sling mount on both sides of this thing, so you can run a 1-point sling very easily. Or like how we did, we have the Sylvan Arms QD sling attachments that we could easily put on either side of the M-LOK rail here and have a 2-point sling set up. I guess technically too, with the SBA3, with the way we have it, you could have a 2-point setup from there to there. So plenty of options when it comes to getting a sling and being able to tote this thing around very easily. If the rumors are true and this is being discontinued, it's a shame, because this was easily one of my favorite setups, especially in the 300 Blackout platform, that I've ever got to play with. So now that I know that it's being discontinued, this is going to stay with me. I do plan on putting this over on purchase at SMGA when we go to swap out for our next set of guns. So this one won't be going to SMGA anytime soon to be sold. This one is going to stay in my armory because of how much fun I've had with this thing. But if you guys are looking for this, these things are severely ranging in pricing online. I saw all the way from new pricing at $2,200 to $2,400, all the way down to some sales a few months ago at $900 to $1,000. So really be on the lookout to see if you guys can snag a great deal on this thing, or maybe somebody's trying to get rid of one for a pretty great price. But I believe it is worth the to me, this is probably worth right about the $1,500 mark if I was going to go buy one right now myself. Luckily, I think I can get this one right around that price and not suffer too badly with some of the pricing that I'm seeing online on some of those bigger websites. So guys, go check it out. The Christensen Arms 300 Blackout style bolt action pistol here, or their MPP, which is Marksman Precision Pistol. I believe that is the actual acronym and model of this thing specifically, but we just like to call it the Shorty Boy 300 Blackout. So definitely a yes from us, guys. Go check them out if you guys get the opportunity. Do you guys have one already? Let us know down below in the comments if you do. We love hearing your guys' feedbacks. Would love to hear if you guys have had any issues with this thing. And what do you guys think of a compact kind of marksman sniper type of setup like this? Is this something that appeals to you, or something that you're just going to pass on by? But that's all from us today on this one, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, y'all. And as always, stay alert, stay alive, and we'll see y'all in the next video. What's pretty badass is I can zoom in on your screen and see what you're shooting at. Especially when you miss.
Well, it's not zero.